$70 in entertainment at Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies in Gatlinburg, Tennessee as well. So you look at some of this.
A lot of specifics there, and it's kind of funny when Linda Benzel-Myers came forward with the academic fraud there, it sort of all disappeared when Fatimus Maximus was head coach.
You look at this, and some of this right now under the current name, image, and likeness stuff would still be kind of illegal, but you see a lot of people using that as a now. Pat Forty came out with a column.
Oh, this will be riveting.
But it kind of got me thinking. So Pat Forty has said that in the last 10 years or whatever, that Jeremy Pruitt, not Chad Morris, would be considered the worst hire in the league. Would you agree or disagree with Pat Forty's take that Jeremy Pruitt was a worse hire than Chad Morris?
Let me ask you a question. Did Jeremy Pruitt win a bowl game? Yeah. Did Jeremy Pruitt get to postseason? Yeah. Jeremy Pruitt win 8 games? Yeah. Did Chad Morris have some of the worst football teams I've ever seen, and that's including Vanderbilt? Yeah. So I really don't care what Pat Forty says. Pat Forty's saying that because Jeremy Pruitt got busted for cheating because everybody at Tennessee threw him under the bus to protect the legacy of one of the biggest cheats that's ever coached in the league, which, of course, is Philip Fulmer.
In Pat Forty's words, Jeremy Pruitt cements his status as the SEC's worst football hire of the 21st century as the Bills continue to come due for the great Tennessee fan revolt of 2017.
Pat needs to stick to swimming. His daughter's good at it. That's all I'll say. I mean, it's not like Jeremy Pruitt's the first coach to get in trouble. Okay?
Right,
so he's been in trouble before. Pat's the king of being bombastic and full of himself. Luckily, I didn't have to look at him in Atlanta. If he was there, I feel sorry for some of the other folks that did. But again, I'm not a huge Pat Forty fan.
Right.
His son does a great job, and we've had him on the show many times, and he continues to do a great job for Power Mizzou and for Rivals.com. But just not a huge Pat Forty fan. And again, I know what I watched football-wise. Jeremy Pruitt's football teams at Tennessee were better than Chad Morris is, a lot better.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I know what Pat's point's going to be. Well, Jeremy was cheating and all this stuff. Well, are you telling me that Philip Fulmer never did? Because if you are, shut up and go away.
All right, we're going to pause the Tennessee football talk here because we got a lot more to go. We got some Alabama talk to get to. We got Auburn talk to get to. But if you pay attention to the show for any period of time, you know that we love to talk about food every now and then. We love to throw in some food nuggets. Coming up on August 5th at Cross Point Church out there in Madison, Major League Eaters are going to be making a pilgrimage to Madison. They're going to compete on Friday night the 5th. It's the 2022 Major League Eating World Banana Pudding Championship. It's going to take place at 6:45 at Cross Point Church. Now, you hear Cross Point Church advertised on our airways all the time.
Pastor John Dees.
Yep. So it's a good spot. Folks, the talent that is going to be there is unreal. You're going to get the second-ranked guy, Joffrey Esper. You're going to get the fourth-ranked Nick Weary out of Tampa. 11th-ranked Patrick Bertolotti. 17th-ranked George Sugar. You got the list goes on and on. On the female side, Drew, we're going to get the top-ranked female in the world.
Not in just for this contest, in the world of competitive eating. And just reading up on the notes, she's actually number 3 overall, I think, male or female. I think they rank them.
Yeah.
They combine them. And so she's the best female competitive eater in the world and number 3 overall. And she's been doing this since 2013. So relatively, she's not even been doing it 10 years. And so she's 8-time Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest. That's the most high profile that we all know about.
It is. It is the July 4th event.
She's the 8-time champion there. And so basically since she became a competitive eater professionally, she has been dominant. Let's just put it that way.
All right, Mickey Soto now kind enough to joining us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. I hope I said that first name right. Welcome in on a Monday morning. It is Scott and Drew with you on Talking Ball here in Huntsville, Alabama. Good to talk to you.
Thank you so much for the kind introduction.
Well, absolutely. I mean, your resume speaks for itself. I guess for our listeners, Mickey, how did you decide to go into the world of competitive eating?
I always say, like, I didn't choose competitive eating. Competitive eating chose me.
Right.
It was just by trying out new things, and I happened to be good at it, so I kept at it.
Well, obviously, on March or April, March, I am back in 2 months. August 5th, you make your way to Madison, Alabama, the World Banana Pudding Championship. Is there a schedule that comes out for the competitive eaters to look at and to pick and choose and to go from? And how did you decide ultimately to come to Madison?
Well, it's my first time going to Madison, so I'm super excited. There is a schedule out, and it's constantly being updated. So new contests and new sponsors come onto the scene, but everything's available at MajorLeagueEating.com. And if anybody wants to sign up, feel free to throw your hat in the ring. I mean, that's just kind of how I ended up here.
Well, no doubt. And so is this the first time that you'll be taking part in the banana pudding contest? Because I know, just looking at your resume, you've competed in several, but will this be the first time you're going for the world record in this particular event?
Yeah, I don't know if we've had a banana pudding. I'm sure there's been a pudding contest. I don't know if we've done banana pudding. So it might be like the first ever world record set with Major League Eating. Yeah, we'll see. It'd be great if that title was mine.
I got to ask you, what's it like going through the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest? I mean, I've only been able to see it on ESPN on the 4th of July. It looks like a bucket list event to try to get to as a fan, just because it seems so awesome to be a part of. But on your side, what's it like to be a part of something that big?
I think this year was the first time that I ever actually enjoyed the whole Nathan's week, because usually I'm either so stressed or so busy that I don't like. I just blink and everything. It's over. But this year we brought our 1-year-old son Max.
Nice.
So that was a challenge, but it was a challenge. But he was really, really good considering. So it was like a whole family thing. So yeah, I enjoyed every bit of media that I got to do. I don't know. And then just the day of, like, I actually purposely walked slower onto the stage that day. So it's an unbelievable experience.
Well, and Mickey, how you've won this 8 times. I mean, it's become such a high-profile event. It's something that everybody kind of looks toward on July the 4th. Do you feel the pressure at all, being an 8-time champion when you're coming into the event? Because a lot of times you and Joey, I guess, are the two that draw the most media attention.
Yeah, I think every year kind of poses its own set of challenges. So, like, the first year I felt like I had to prove that I belonged there, because
right.
I couldn't call myself a competitive eater yet. I didn't feel comfortable with the whole idea. But I guess after being ranked, 3rd in the world with guys, it's kind of like, well, if anybody is, I guess I'm one of them. So yeah, the first year I wanted to prove that I belonged there. The second year I had to prove that it wasn't a fluke. I don't know. I was always chasing the women's world record. This year I had I think this year people were wondering if I still had it in me after having a baby, because I obviously sat out last year pregnant. Yeah, so I think every year is a different challenge, but it's just been more fun. It was more enjoyable and more meaningful than any other year, because I had my son and my fiance with me.
Well, some of the world records now. Do you still have the ice cream short form world record?
Yeah, and I don't think that one's going anywhere, because 16 and a half pints, because other people have tried to break that, and it's just, I probably have to give some of the credit to contest conditions that day. Yeah. Indiana might have been extra hot. The ice cream might have been a little bit softer. I don't know what the deal is, but it hasn't been touched, or nobody's come close. Just so to put into perspective, Jeffrey Esper, who's ranked number 2 with Major League Eating, he'll actually be at the banana pudding contest too. He's better at that contest, and he's he's ranked higher than me. He's better at me. He's better than me at most foods. But he hasn't broken it yet. So I don't know if that one's going anywhere anytime soon.
16 and a half pints in 6 minutes.
In 6 minutes.
You can either imagine that in pints of ice cream, or if you're more familiar with gallons of milk, that's like hold up 2 jugs of milk, and it's more than that in your stomach.
Yeah, I'm just imagining a brain freeze that would just knock you down or something. I don't know. I don't know how you do that.
I did an interview about how to avoid brain freeze, and I don't know if it was the adrenaline or if because I don't chew any of my food, and obviously you're kind of weird if you just chew ice cream in the first place, but I don't think the ice cream ever had enough time to hit the roof of my mouth, and I think that's the biology. I think that's the biology behind brain